YouTube. This is I just purchased um, my own neighborhood. So as you can see, there's no other houses here. I just decided to do this from now on for videos, where I'm going to show you new builds, things like that, and or how to build. So this will be my first video on that. It feels kind of weird having my own neighborhood, but it will definitely help for videos, interruptions, things like that. As you can see, I'm Michael Myers. Getting ready for Halloween and trick or treat. And this build is actually Michael Myers' house. I added a couple things that aren't the same. For example, all these trees and things like that over here, they are Michael Myers lived in a neighborhood, so there was a house next to it and so on. And he lived in a neighborhood, and on both sides. I may do that at some point. If you guys watch this video and you'd like me to do that instead of these decorations, which I intend on doing more, just let me know. I do think it'll look better if I add the other houses, but for now, this build has been going on for about 2 days, and this is what we have so far. So the look of his house is, if you were to Google Michael Myers house, minus the door being open or whatever, this is what you'd see, and I try to make it as realistic as possible. Obviously, it's all boarded up. You can see the white at the edge of the roof line. Most of this is all custom work, and essentially that white is supposed to be like your rain gutter, just like on his house, just broken because it's all old and decrepit and so on and so forth. So it's hanging down. And added all the vines and things like that on it, the wood for being boarded up. The stairs are custom. This walking area is custom, so I can show you how I do things like that. It's basically with the new tools. Um, as you look at these pillars here, those are custom. Essentially at the top, what I used are spice racks because he had some decorative things at the very top of the pillars on his, different from other homes. This doorway, same thing. His doorway looked like this, and if I close the door, that's essentially what it looked like. Tried to make the colors as best I could. The roof line, it wasn't too high and so on. Essentially, this is what it looked like. Um, I'm going to, like I said, continue to make it more. This is just a preview. So I just found a light. I was trying to place some lights in the basement, which I'll show you. Essentially, what I'm doing is making Michael Myers' house. I'm trying to have it done before Halloween, or at least into October. Um, and what I've been doing is just leaving this door open, uh, and I can go work or do whatever. Sometimes I'll just like hide behind things and just see, and people will show up. And anytime, most of the time when they see a door open or whatever, they want to go and see how the inside looks of something. So I'll walk you through this. Essentially, what's going on in here is, you can see the candy. I have smoke going on. There's like a coffin over there. There's a skeleton. Just put a few things for them to look at. But as they go for the candy, you see they're going to fall through. Um, so I made the floor in different weird shapes, and I just covered it with carpet to look exactly like the floor. If it was dark out, it'd be much darker down here. So you can see there's like a doorway or a hallway here. Created Essentially what I just created was just an area for myself to boost. Looks pretty scary, and the whole thing's supposed to look like blood or rust and stuff like that. Obviously, I missed a little spot up there. And essentially, this will be closed so they can't get in. And this is back in, actually, I'm already lost. So it's the door. Okay, if we go back and if we went right, this leads us back into where we fell. Like I said, at nighttime, this is even harder, but you'll see this little glow here. So I tried to put lights through here to kind of lead them. And essentially what I'm going to create is a maze. And you can see that light up there. That's why that light was outside, because I was adding lights to try and help them navigate, because they can't get out the way that they fell in. So they're going to have to try and navigate this maze and get out. At this point, I don't have a way out. I'm still working on the whole maze. I'm going to add other stuff down here. smoke and things like that to make it a little, you know, a little bit more interesting, not just all a maze and so on and so forth. But the whole point is to be able to get out. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. If you see on these trees up there, essentially you can take these trees and you put one, and then you can twist. If you're going to place another one, you just twist it so it just mixes it up and puts the branches in different directions. This is actually a tree that I placed underground, and I can show how to do some of these tricks, um, in a future video. But you can see that there's vines hanging on top of that tree right there, and as you see, it's getting darker out. This just looks even better. And that tree up there has some more vines and things hanging from it. But if you see that one, basically I used a piece of wood. See all the boards on the windows? Well, you can use them and color them, and that's what that is up there. Anytime you use a board on anything, now you can place something on it. And that's how I was able to get those vines hanging from it, the same vines that you see right here on that on this picture frame. Um, those are able to hang to set on there because of what I used to set them as well. These are just tricks you learn along the way. I have learned some watching a few YouTube videos, but once I learned essentially what I need to try and do, if I'm building something, I try and envision the types of tools that I can use and or make it work and make it look as best as I possibly can. I love details and attention to details, so again, this is going to come out even better as time goes on. Like I said, I only have like 2 days into it right now, and as you know, the reason it takes so long is I don't have unlimited funds. You can see I have 97,000 right now, but I have to work just like everybody else, unfortunately, and I have to deliver pizza. What I dislike is I used to be able to farm, and I spent my own real money on farming for all the sprinklers and stuff, and then they nerfed the whole farming process, so now it takes 10 seconds for each harvest on any tree, which it used to take as soon as I could tap it, it was harvested, and I could just go through my whole farm. And the farm, my biggest farm, would get me about 85,000. It would take me about 10 minutes to do it. And that just helped me build nice things for people to see. And I do tours and things like that. Um, it just made it a little bit better for me. So that way I didn't have to just spend all my time driving around delivering pizza. I also delivered pizza, and it just made that much more money. And I used to put a farm or a bunch of trees, smaller farms, on every build. That way, while I'm building, in order for your farm to regenerate, it takes 2 full hours of playing time on that plot for it to, for all your fruit to show up again. So while I was building, if I wasn't working, um, sometimes the oranges would show up and I'd have some more money so I could keep building. And that just helped. And when I did tours, because I had oranges on different plots, while I was giving tours or people were enjoying the stuff that I created, again, that timer's ticking down on whatever plot that I have had loaded. So sometimes I'd have numerous oranges that I could harvest at any time that, again, I only used to help continue to build cool places for people to see. And also so I could make some YouTube videos that people would like to be able to watch as well. Anyway, I just felt like saying that because I feel like the game also ruined water recently, which I hope they fix because I have the Titanic, which some of you have may seen. Again, I put this ladder back here just so I could get up on the roof. And in some pictures of Michael Myers from movies or whatever, he just kind of like stands up here. So I could just like sit here and watch as people would show up or whatever, and I just wouldn't move, and then they just run in and fall in and the whole thing, and you know what's going on down there. It's just a lot of fun, and I always let people out. There will be an escape spot. So I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm just trying to have them have a little fun for Halloween. And if they can't get out, I'll just go into build mode and let them out. But it is fun, and most of them enjoy it. I also have a haunted house, which I'll be making a video on. That was actually my first build, was the haunted house when I was learning how to actually build anything. I didn't even know texture was a thing. I was building on my phone originally, but now I use an iPad. I know a lot of people use the PC. I have tried it. It doesn't work for me. I haven't really tried to build with it, but I can't even walk around with the PC. It's difficult. So this is just much easier for me. Um, anyway, like I said, a lot of these things like the bushes, well, this bush that I created, it's just grass. I used tall grass, and you can make it even taller by the resize thing, and some of it's shorter. So just trying to make it, I colored it to make it look more like bushes. These over here are also trees, but I made them look like bushes. I also like to illuminate things without letting you see what I'm using to illuminate them with. For example, if I walk over here, you see how it says turn off. So I've hidden lights inside things. I've hidden them in the bottoms of trees. That's why you can kind of see this tree glowing. So I can turn it on and off because at nighttime you can't really see this tree at all or that one. So it's just all illumination. Those are all details that just kind of help the whole thing look nicer. Because like I said, it's so dark out, you wouldn't even see most of this stuff if I didn't illuminate it. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind when you're creating builds. It's not just the details of putting things inside, it's also outside. What I typically like to do, this is just me, is I'll build the outside first, and I'll take my time and try and make it as realistic as possible. Um, Also using lights and many other types of tricks that I'll show you. And then I typically start, once the outside is done and I feel good about it, I'll start doing the inside and doing all the detail work inside. As you see, I'll go down here again. You see it's much darker down here now because it is nighttime to see. I mean, it's pretty dark. So with these areas, they may come over here and be like, okay, can't get in there. And then they'll see this area and, with just a little bit of lights. And like you see that light right there, that's what I mean. Typically, I don't like to leave them so you can see them. Usually I'll hide them, and I could even hide that. But I decided to go with the lights from above for the rest of this area. And as you can see, in some areas I left it darker than others. So that way, I'm just walking here and then I'm gonna have to look right and left. And I'm kind of like, it's really dark and I'm kind of lost. So then you have to, you know, look around and essentially you're trying to find light. And even me, it's a little difficult. And so that's what I typically do is I'll go through myself and see how hard it is and adjust it as I need to. Um, so that it is possible for people to find their way out and so on. Uh, but I'm trying to give them a little fun at the same time. And yeah, it's kind of scary. I will be playing music from Michael Myers, the movie Halloween. And so when they're down here, they have that whole effect if they're using their volume and so on. Um, and this is just a wide open area. It's the first time I've actually found it. And I'll have some stuff in here that's kind of a little scary, whatever, and they'll just have to keep going on. And essentially, this just ends, and this actually is it. So it'll continue on from here. Um, but that's about it, guys. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. Subscribers are definitely more than welcome. Again, if you have any questions or you want any tips or tricks on how to create things, or if you have ideas for things that you'd like to see me build, please leave it in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you guys all on the game. Unfortunately, some of the people that I've watched myself on YouTube, they seem like they don't like to, you know, get many visits from other people or whatever, or even spend time playing with them or whatnot. I'm not like that. I've helped many people build their builds and showed them tricks so they could continue on their own and do stuff. So I like to meet everybody that I see on the game as well and spend some time and just I like helping people. So this video, one of my favorite things is Halloween. Michael Myers is my favorite character, and I've been waiting a while to make his house, and here it is. Like I said, if you think that it would look cooler, again, I'm not done with all of the outside stuff, but if you think it would look cooler to see this as a town, um, let me know in the comments, and I'll make the other houses that are supposed to be on either side of his. And yeah, if I get enough likes for that one, I'll definitely do it. So again, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the finished product of this build, and also seeing some of my other builds. All right, have a nice day.